This is a Blairing Out with Eric Blair show. Tonight, interviewing rockers on the red carpet for the 4th annual Ronnie James Dio Stand Up and Shout Cancer Fund's Bowl for Ronnie event. Blairing Out with Eric Blair show, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you so much.
Did you ever meet Ronnie James Dio?
I didn't. I had the chance to at one point, and my friend had called me. He was in town and he wanted to meet me, and I drove as fast as I could to get there. Just as I got there, he left. So it was just bad luck.
How important was Ronnie James Dio to your evolution as a singer?
I mean, he's an influence on so many people, and I think he's one of the most forgotten influences. Like, when people ask, like, who influenced your career, I think that his name gets forgotten sometimes, but he had a great impact on not only the metal genre, but music in general. I mean, really, truly did. And so it's a real honor to be here.
Lyrically, what is a Ronnie James Dio Black Sabbath Rainbow song or solo?
Like
no,
that.
but lyrically,
that's rough. There's so many. He was a great lyric writer, so that's one of the things that I love, because I consider myself even though I'm the girl that goes grr, as they call me. Lyrics are my favorite thing to do. Like, writing is my favorite thing to do. So. The fact I love good lyric writers, and the fact that he contributed so much of that to this genre is really I think made a great impact on me as a writer early on, and still to this day, you know, it's an important thing to do.
What music are you listening to that inspires you?
Well, I'm doing a lot of writing right now, so most of I'm listening to a lot of Ravi Shankar.
Like the Beatles.
Yeah,
he inspired the Beatles.
Yeah, he's from India. He's an incredible player. His instrument it's a 12-string, so it's ridiculous to watch him play. But there's something, I don't know, that's hypnotic about it when I write. So I've been doing a lot of writing lately, and that's been a lot of fun.
You know that Nora Jones is his daughter.
I do, yeah. He also has another daughter who makes great music. So it's just in the blood, you know. It really is. It's really good.
How do you right now? How are you seeing the influence of Ravi Shankar influence your music? How is it sounding?
Well, I think there's a sacredness about what he did, because for him there was no separation between music and himself. Absolutely. And that's the wonderful thing about music, is that you get to create something from nothing. And it does, you know, as a piece of art, you know, when you have, you know, Picasso's will sell for millions and millions of dollars, right? But when you have like your worst day, or you have your best day, you don't go and look at a Picasso, or most people don't, run and look at a Picasso or a Warhol or a Basquiat or a Pollock, or, you know, they put on their favorite song, you know, and so, and some of those songs transcend time. And that's, you know, we're still listening to Mozart 300 and some odd years later, right? So that's the magic of art, and that's the magic of music, is that it can touch you in ways that I don't think any other art form can.
How have you seen Otep's music change people's lives?
Well, I know that when I first started, what I wanted to do was to find people that felt the same way that I did, that saw the world the way that I did. And that was because it was very lonely when I was a kid. And so when I first started writing, that it was sort of a beacon in the darkness, hoping to find someone. And you know, the messages that I received from our fans, who are some of the most, you know, wonderful people in the world, tell me how I've helped them come out, you know, to their parents or to their friends, how I've stopped them from cutting or self-harm, how they use their music to get through tough times, or to give them a voice where they felt like they had no voice before. And as someone that was raised in the working poor, I never thought that I would have anything, you know, any sort of influence like that, or find other people like that. So music has given me something that in my life that I never thought I would ever able to achieve, and I'm very blessed. And you know, couldn't have done it without trailblazers like Ronnie.
Do you believe evil exists, and if so, define it?
I do believe evil exists, and I define it as Donald J. Trump. I believe that they listen to the people that give them money, but I believe that they also have their own agendas. And, you know, I believe that Trader Trump has his own agenda, and he goes off script all the time. And that's why, you know, a lot of his donors have stopped giving him money, because he's saying things that they even in their very conservative world, find offensive. And so, I mean, the fact that he's going after a trans folk right now, and you know, we're talking about a Republican Party who used to believe in smaller government and staying out of people's lives, but always, unless you were gay, unless you were bi, unless you were transsexual. So I think that what we've seen in the 2 years or so since he's been in the White House, that we've seen a rise in hate crimes. We've seen a rise in people feeling emboldened to take off their white hoods, to take off those white robes, put on their golf shirts and their khaki pants like it's a Donald Trump Comic-Con or something, and show up with tiki torches and chant in favor of keeping Confederate statues up. Why? They lost. You know, when people wave the Confederate flag, they're waving the wrong flag. The flag they should be waving is the flag of surrender, because the United States kicked their ass. So same thing with when they wave Nazi flags. The United States military kicked the shit out of them too. So they should be waving a white flag, not a Nazi flag.
What is the most unselfish thing you've ever done for somebody?
The most unselfish thing I've ever done for somebody? Geez, I don't know. I don't consider myself a very selfish person, but there was a young girl who had been molested by her stepfather, and she gave me the blanket that he used to put over her head when he would do these terrible things to her. And so we helped her find an organization that helped put him behind bars. So I don't know if that's unselfish or not, but that's one of the things, I guess, one of the greatest achievements of my life.
Helping the downtrodden, no matter what, is always important.
Absolutely. I mean, it costs nothing to be compassionate. It costs nothing to be kind. It costs nothing. You know, someone somewhere a long time ago decided to divide up this nation into countries and borders and all this stuff, but in reality we're all humans, and we all have this one little rock that orbits the sun, and we can all mark 20 summers on the wall, and we can all hope that we can make all 20 of those summers. Doesn't mean that we're going to. So, you know, the best thing to do is worry about making sure that you're living your best life instead of always trying to condemn someone else's life or judge them on how the way they're living their authentic self.
What is your vision of a perfect world?
I think where all people are treated with equality, and you know, that we look at real issues like ending we could end world hunger overnight, basically, if we stop factory farming. I'm a moral vegan, so if you can tell. And which also is important because, you know, meat is a known carcinogen that causes cancer, and so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to represent vegans tonight. And also I'm hoping that we can stop testing on animals to help find cures, because I think a lot of what we do in laboratories is much more successful than what they do to animals. But I think that where all people are given what we're supposed to be given in this great experiment of America, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and that all are created equal. And if we can help the downtrodden, if we can help those that are impoverished, and we can help, you know, we can put smart people in places of leadership that care more about each other and this planet, I think that would be that, you know.
Do you want a one world government?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of a Star Trek fan, so unless we're talking about Star Trek, then yeah. But if we're not, then no, I don't believe in that. But I just think that the reason why we have a United Nations is to hold most countries account to a certain standard on how they treat their people, on human rights violations and so forth. So I think that that's important, that we have some form of governing body where everybody votes and makes sure that people in other countries are safe, people in other countries have the same rights that we do, where gay people aren't beheaded in the United Arab Emirates or Saudi Arabia, where women have the right to drive cars and all of those things. Because I guess in a perfect world, if I wanted to boil it down, is that we just remove religion completely, because that seems to be the biggest problem that we have.
Don't you believe that people have the freedom to choose what they want to believe in this world that we live in?
As long as it doesn't infringe on someone else's rights, absolutely.
What are the pros and cons of the MeToo movement?
The pros are that we're exposing the violence and humiliation that women have experienced since, I don't know, creation. The downside of it is the very rare microscopic minority of women who lie about it. But for those people that use that as an excuse not to believe survivors, I ask them, do you question altar boys who wait 30 years to come forward? And why not? They don't have evidence. They don't have a picture. They don't have DNA. All they have is a story. Same thing as these women. So you're eager to believe that, but you're not eager to believe these women, and why not? And I think that that's because of, you know, inherent sexism in this country and across the world, just like there's inherent racism in this country and across the world.
What's next for Otep?
We are going to continue to start cultural fires everywhere we can in order to bring awareness to injustice. We go on tour in late November, and we're back late December. So it's called the Art of Dissent Tour.
What is the Art of Dissent?
The Art of Dissent is making sure that every day that you stand up for your brothers and sisters in this country and marginalized communities who are under attack by this current administration.
All right. God bless you, sister.
All right,
nice
man.
meeting you. Have
Appreciate
a good night.
The Blairing Out Show.